question in this exercise, question 5.3.11. If the sum of the first n terms is of an AP, arithmetic progression, has been given as 4n minus n square, what is the first term of S1? What is the sum of the first two terms? And what is the second term? And similarly, third, 10th, and nth term are also asked. Now, this is kind of a little bit different question because so far we have been working with nth term, we have been working with sum of first n terms. Here, the sum of n first terms has been given as some expression 4n minus n square. They came up with this by their own analysis that has not been given. This is not a standard formula. So using this information and whatever we know about arithmetic progression, we are supposed to answer all these questions. So let's say, let's try to substitute different values, and let's try to put the simplest value of n, which is 1, and that will give me, let's calculate. So sum of like the one term up to one term is the first term itself, because there is only one term. So sum of S1, so whatever sum is given S1, that will have only single element, and that would be A1 itself or A itself. So let's see. S1 is A1 because by this time we have accumulated only one term. So the total is just one term, and that will be the first term itself. Now, the expression has been given as 4n minus n square. If you are talking about S1, then you have to also replace n by 1. And if you do that, that would become 4 times 1 minus 1 square. So it will come out to be 3. So your first term is 3 in this arithmetic progression. And that's why sum of first one term, which is this by itself, is also same as 3. So this gives us the first term as 3. Now, what about the sum of first two terms? We have this governing equation. We will put now 2, and let's see what happens. So sum of first two terms is 2, and that will be also evaluated by substituting n as 2. So if you do that, that will come out to be 4 times 2 minus twice of square. So the sum came out to be 4. Now, it's interesting to know that S1, which had only A1, gave us 3, and S2, which had A1 as well as A2, that gave us 4. So that means one term gives you 3, one term and another term gives you 4. That means the another term, which is the second term in this case, will be simply the difference of 4 and 3, and that would be 1. Because the first term gave you 3, the second term, when added, suddenly this total become 4. So that increment from 3 to 4 must be because of this second term, and that must be equivalent of the difference between 3 and 4, and that's why it is 1. Now, the third term, well, once we get the two terms, we have some characteristics of that arithmetic progression. From 3, we are jumping to 1. So this is a decreasing arithmetic progression, and the constant difference d is negative 2. Why? It is actually a decreasing. So from 3, starting with 3, we went to 1, decrease of 2. So if you want to proceed further, we have to further decrement this by 2. So 1 minus 2 will be negative 1. That will be your next term or third term. So we have answered up to here. Now 10th term, now we have got sufficient information about this arithmetic progression. Let's see, the first term is 3, common difference is negative 2. It's a decreasing series. And now we want to calculate the 10th term. So we can use the formula an equal to A1 or A, first term, times plus n minus 1 times d. So if you substitute the formula, that would become A as 3, n as 10, and difference is negative 2. So if you simplify that, the answer will come out with negative 15. And if you want a generic nth term, so we will again use the same formula, but this time we will try to substitute as much as we can. Remember, we are making a generic expression for nth term with whatever information we have. So we are kind of customizing and substituting whatever we know. A is actually 3, N we don't know. Remember, we are making a magic formula for nth term, customized formula for this scenario, and D is substituted as negative 2. So if you simplify that, this negative 2 times N is negative 2N, negative 2 times 1 is positive 2, and now 3 plus 2 can be combined. So the final answer will come out to be 5 minus 2N. So let's see whether we have answered all the questions. First term S1 is 3. Because of that, the first term of the arithmetic progression also is 3. The second term of that arithmetic progression came out to be 1. The third term came out to be negative 1. The 10th term was negative 15. And the general expression for nth term was 5 minus 2n.